Hello again, people. Edwin Learnard here. In this segment of my sun sign astrological series on YouTube, I would like to dissertate and discuss the sun in Cancer. People that were born with the sun sign Cancer are often very sentimental, can be somewhat emotional, and they tend to be connected with ancestral worship, maybe to some degree. Family life figures prominently with many Cancers. Mother and father influence is probably very strong, whether it's positive or negative. It might have to do with other elements in the horoscope, and especially as to the sun aspects to the sun in Cancer. Sun in Cancer people can be somewhat, I don't want to say fragile, but can be very sensitive, to the point where the environment they really seem to be affected by, I guess you could say, outer or extraneous influences. Sun in Cancer people can be somewhat passive and timid. Many of them, similar to Taurus, are very, they're non-confrontational. They're very introverted and a lot of times like to be by themselves, although there's some Cancer people that can be a little bit more personable and a little bit more gregarious, but for the most part introversion is generally connected with the sign of Cancer. I've had some readings about the people, the sun in Cancer, where it's intimating that the sign can be somewhat namby-pamby and weak, but what people have to remember that in Cancer in its own way can be very strong, because love, it figures very strong with Cancer natives, and how can we survive without it, and love is really very emphasized with Cancer personalities. Also, people with the sun in Cancer, they're, like I said, state about being introverted, their homebodies. Often their work might consist of something at home, possibly online work or writing, because that's connected with creativity. Cancer natives can be very creative. They're even innovative on some levels, because they can be very insightful and have very good intuition. Similar to Pisces, the intuition part of Cancer is could be very strong indeed. And Cancer people generally they're adaptable. They will try to do whatever they can to help friends out. Can be very steadfast and loyal companions. They're always seem to be, they have a lot of love and compassion in them, and very sympathetic toward other people. The sign has been, in some readings has stated to be self-protective, but at the same time, Cancer individuals can have a lot of compassion and have certain humanitarian urges as well, I would say. Cancers can have a weak constitution, and the health a lot of times is not always the best as far as Cancer natives go. That Cancer rules the stomach area, so there can be problems connected, possibly with the stomach area, whether it would be ulcers or something in with that in that part of the body, and also the chest area, right here is also part, as far as what Cancer natives, as far as anatomical correspondences go, that's part of Cancer as well. So there can be problems here. There could also be possibly stomach problems as well. Cancer people just have a natural I think way of, as odd as it sounds, they seem to be adaptable to various weather conditions for some reason, and they don't. Seems like health is not always impacted by that, although as stated that their health is not always the best. I had a relative who has still alive, had cancer prominent in her horoscope, and she seemed like she was coming down with something, constantly. There'd be one cold after another, and it's mind-boggling how, I've noticed some people with cancer, sun and cancer people and other cancer personalities I've known seem to just, a lot of them just seem to get one, they can have one physical ailment after another, and the recuperative powers are not always tremendous. Also, cancer people they can be somewhat temperamental and moody. This is somewhat attributed maybe to the desire of experience, and just the fact that they're so, they could be somewhat impressionable and influenced by the environment around them. As all water signs, they are environmental. Cancers need to watch, I think, their liquid intake, as because, as I discussed, stomach problems before, and the eating, because many a number of cancer people can be, they have that kind of round visage or build, and that's attributed to often large consumption of food and beverages. So the diet must really be looked at, I think, for people that are cancers. I'd like to say some famous people, celebrities that have the sun sign in Cancer: actress Meryl Streep, actor Tom Hanks, I believe Ernest Hemingway, renowned author, has his sun sign in Cancer. I have a couple more people here. Founder of Wendy's, connected with food. What a shocker, Dave Thomas. Also, somebody that invented the geodesic dome, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, his name is Buckminster Fuller. And so, as we know, cancers can be, they have the creative mind and can be somewhat innovative. Anyway, people, that'll do it for this segment of my sun sign analysis video for Cancer. And the next video segment on YouTube I'll have will be Sun in Leo. Talk to you later, people.